Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Values are not negotiable. Values are values regardless of the circumstances. Otherwise, it's selective virtue, selective values, and that's not a value if it's selective, depending on who's who, what's what, and their circumstances. Unfortunately, the European Union shows us that they are a female dog. Why? Because Hungary succeeded in nailing Brussels again. They didn't even do that to other countries, but directly to the European Union. And I'm going to show you. But before that, I will just refresh your memory a little bit. You know, Hungary was supposed to receive some funds from the European Union. The European Union, based on its values, said that they will not give Hungary those funds unless they do certain things. Hungary said, no, we're not going to do this. We're good as we are. Then the European Union said, no, we will not. So it's a value. They said, the European Union said, that's a value, and we will not negotiate a value unless you change your things in your country. Well, the European Union bent the knee, and now the value is circumstantial. Let me show you. Hungary has balls like the Poles have balls. The Kiev Independent, today, December 8, 2023. The Guardian said, European Union set to unlock part of frozen funds for Hungary. What do you mean? What did Hungary do to deserve that from your demands? Zero. Nothing. What Europe... So, that means European Union bends its values, the demands based on values, for what? To negotiate a deal with the Hungarians to facilitate something for the Ukrainians. Now that is bizarre values. That is not ancient Rome, ancient Greek values. Those are bizarre. You know what bizarre is? You trade things. I give you this, you give me this. I give you my mom, you give me $3. I give you my wife, you give me 50 cents. Something like that. You can't make shit up, my friends. And who's laughing here, or who's at least smiling? A guy who, has balls, and he fights and works for his country, for his people, nation, tribe, Hungarians. And he is Hungarian. Very important, this distinction. Viktor Orban is Hungarian, unlike other elected officials from two neighboring countries. The European Commission is expected to unlock 10 billion euros, which is $10.7 billion. Not enough. I know there are about 60 or 40 billion or something like that. I think it's 52, as I read right now. In frozen funds for Hungary, the Guardian reported today, December 8, citing anonymous diplomatic sources. The funds, which constitute about a third of Hungary's total supplemented funding, so that was about 30-some billion, will likely be released on December 12th. Gyors, that means in Hungarian fast. Gyors, why? Because they want, if they say, we're going to give you this now, actions, not words, we're going to give you this, and you going to agree with Ukraine's starting the negotiations for becoming a member of the European Union. That's the first deal. And the other one is going to come with more funds from the European Union. Hungary is the only one vetoing that. And that's probably the rest. This is the offer. I'm guessing. I'm having a ball feeling. All right, so it says here, the Guardian report comes while Hungary is ramping up its opposition to the EU's further support for Ukraine, including a 53 billion funding package for Ukraine's recovery. So these guys are giving Ukraine, a non-European country with not the same values, with corruption, that banned political parties, religious denominations, minorities, languages, media outlet, they will give these guys, on top of whatever they gave them already, $53 billion. And they want to bribe Hungary with $10 billion, $11 billion, which is a European Union member state. Now, wouldn't you feel offended? I would. Sources told The Guardian that alleged release of Hungary's funds was unrelated to the blackmailing of Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, who has threatened to block Ukraine's accession to the EU. We'll find out if that's a blackmail. Hungary thinks that those funds, they deserve them. So there's no blackmail. On the contrary, they claim, actually, they're done dirty. They're done wrong. European Union, you are unfair. That's how the Hungarians look at it. So he said, no, we deserve that. And who bent the knee first? The Hungarians didn't say, give us that first, then give us the money, and then we're going to vote for that. Lift our veto. They didn't say that. The European Union weasels with their values, situational, they came and said, we're going to give you $10.7 billion if from something that those guys said, that's 1/3. We have to give us more, everything. And even then, we'll see who has values. Now that's how you deal with weasels. With balls, not like Romanians, with a Romanian president. Now, I'm quoting, the timing is unfortunate because it looks like horse trading, but is not. One diplomat said, if Hungary accepts this deal, it is horse trading. It's value bending, no values. We know European Union does not have values. It has values as they say. I love this is my value, I'm for this. And when you're really about to sacrifice for that, the first pain that you get while defending those values, the first time when you feel a little bit of discomfort. No, I'm done. I quit. But that's not a value. You never had a value. You said you had, but you never had a value. You should, lay down your life for a value if you really have values and principles. You don't tell me that if someone threatens you with a punching you in the face or with a beating, you're going to sell your mom, are you? Or your child into slavery? No, you will not do that. Or will you? It's going to be painful. And I said a punch in the face. I didn't say, a flick in the nose. A lot of people will sell their families in slavery for a flick in the nose, just to avoid this kind of pain. The EU's executive body has frozen the total sum of around 22 billion euros allocated for Hungary's economic development over fears of democratic backlisting and rule of law issues. See, values, man, that's values right there. It's not only 22. I know it's more than that because it was something about 40 some together. 48, 42, something like that. So I don't know, they're not saying the whole thing. And it says here, they said 1/3 of 10 billion is at least 30 billion, okay, 33 billion. According to Guardian sources, the European Commission decided to unlock the $10.7 billion since Budapest has completed necessary jurisdiction reforms. Now they tell us that the Hungary did it. When? That's a lie. Did they do it, 3 days ago? Why did they give it now? I never heard that Hungary said, we did it yesterday. No, they either did it a long time ago, and these guys were still weasels and did not release the money. And if they really did those reforms, why didn't they unlock the entire amount? And it's not only, they have COVID billions I think COVID is about 40 billion that they didn't give them for the same kind of reasons. But they gave to other weasels, other countries, completely completed. When? Yesterday? So now you decided you're going to do it just like this? Nah. The remaining funds will reportedly remain blocked due to a lack of compliance with other rule of law criteria. No, this is weasel talk here. We're not tards here. At the same time, Hungarian civil society representatives at some of the country's lawmakers have argued that Budapest has not actually fully completed the reforms, the media outlet dated. Some 2 weeks earlier, the EU approved $980 million, $1 billion. That's peanuts compared to what these guys are willing to cough for others, non-member states, in advance payments for Hungary's from frozen recovery funds. Let's see. They don't talk about this, but let me see if I find maybe how much money Hungary has blocked for COVID. So I found a few pieces here. One from Euronews. Brussels recommends billions in EU funds be withheld from Hungary. This article was on 24th of November 2022. And you find out here that they had the EU executive called in September for an estimate 7.5 billion euros in European funds to be withheld from Hungary over corruption concerns and the rule of law. That was then. And we go here to something else. Where is that? Right here. In a separate matter, the Commission is also attaching strings to this disbursement of 5.8 billion euros to Hungary in post-COVID recovery funds. I know it was more than that. Like I have here, Hungary, EU at odds over billions of euros of COVID funds. This is from 2 years ago, from April 28, 2028. And you're going to find out exactly why these things are, quoting corruption and anti-LGBTQ policies. So now things, it seems like they solved the problems or something. And again, I found, she said, unlocking the 7.2 billion euros. The other one, how much was that? Here on the top. First, 7.5, so it can't be the same thing. 7.2 is not 7.5 if we are still living. Now this is dollars, so that was dollar or euros? Euros, so it's not the same thing. All right, it's a different tranche. So again, they talk about 7.2 or 7.5 billion dollars or 7.2 billion euros. That's one. And then again, they talk about the EU was also taken aback last year when Hungary approved new educational laws the bloc said discriminate against LGBT people under the mantle of protecting school children. That's exactly what they did. So, and we got this one. EU Commission calls for freeze of 13 billion funding for Hungary. This was again 30th November 2022. I guess this is the same one as this one right here, 24th of November, and this was the 30th. And again, we're going to find here, and told the European Commission recommends that 13.3, a different money here, different amount, billion euros or $11.5 billion of EU money should be put on hold in budget and COVID recovery fund. I know I saw somewhere, but this is what happens when you don't save that garbage article. When you need it, you don't find it. But I know it was $43 billion, and it was COVID, and it was this, and it was that. You do this and that. So we'll see. We'll see if those $10 billion that now these guys want to give Hungary for something, see if that's going to change Orban's mind, which I don't think it will. Remember, even Weasel Macron invited Orban for a little massage at Élysée Palace in Paris to try to convince, we're going to work it out. Yeah, I'm going to give you money, you drop your values, we'll see. I'm not going to, pretend that Viktor Orban is the second Jesus Christ here or anything. You can't be bought, incorruptible or something, but still, so far, he played tough, and he, so far, getting back what he and his people think they should be given that. They deserve that. So those guys are at fault. Good job, Viktor Orban, just like the Romanians. The Romanians followed orders, pulled down their pants, bent over, took it deep from Brussels, and then they got the funds. Good job. And now they have a sore ass. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.